What's going on, everybody? It's the General coming at you with a TF2 discussion video. Now, discussion about what? Discussion about life? Discussion about death? No, it's going to be discussion about summer. And now that summer for me has been over for over a month now, I decided to make this video. Some of you summer may still be going on. I don't know what you do. But for me, my summer ends on August 9th when I had to go back to classes, when I had to start, change my schedule from sitting around or traveling or doing whatever I wanted to do to bookwork, paper writing, blah, 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 blah. Fuck like this, I will love fuck like this. But, and that is what I want to talk about summer, is a thing called a summer theme song. Now, some of you may do this, some of you may not, but I would usually during my summer take a week or two at the very end or sometime during the middle in between traveling, is, to sit around my house and watch not watch TF2, but watch YouTube Let's Players. You know, a few years ago, it was Nintendo Capri Sun, still one of my all-time favorite Let's Player. It was his Ocarina of Time Let's Play, then his Majora's Mask during, like, kind of the same summer or whatever. Then a few years back also as well when it came out as Skyward Sword LP. Even though it was released in January, I kind of fell behind, so I had to take like a week out of July just to catch back up to it. And that's kind of what I think about when I think of those summers, because I may not remember some details of my travels or whatever, blah 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 blah. Even though I remember those still somewhat, I kind of, when it sticks in my head, when I think about those dog days ending of summer, that's what I think about. I think about, a Let's Play that I watched. Summer 2012 was the Yogscast. When I discovered them, a friend told me about them. I was like, you know what, I never really been into Minecraft. I never really liked it. It seems like a big, really hype game or whatever. I didn't know anything about it. Now I went and I watched them and said, hey, they're pretty funny. I like their Tekkit series. Now, I'm not one of the, I've never watched Shadow of Israfel. I know probably people who have seen it probably gonna tell me, dude, you should watch that right now. Wow, my throat's dry. Might have to mute that out. I was coughing. But this past year is what I want to make noteworthy, if I can get my thoughts back together after that cough. Is something that when I discovered this person really kind of made me want to change my channel to this more style of stuff, which is TF2 games that I play now, games that I still have fun with, and it's because it's really still hard for me to get into a Let's Play traditional one of an older game that I really love and make commentary for it, because like in Pokemon Emerald, to get anything advanced, it takes like at least a half an hour episode. That's with editing, and I just can't be funny for that long. That's why I prefer doing now a little bit of a shorter video like this one. Well, I can be funny for the first 8-10 minutes, 5 maybe, and I hope you all find it entertaining. It's something I can keep updated, hopefully a lot better. So the person I discovered, now to him, it's a guy by the name of Jerma985. If you don't know who Jerma is, he's a really cool YouTube gamer. He does a lot of TF2, some indie games and some funny GTA shorts. Those are hilarious. And I took like a week this summer when I first discovered him and like watched all of his stuff. Watched a ton of his stuff, not all of it. God, I don't have the time. I don't even have the time for that. But I'm still slowly watching a lot of his things. But to watch all of his stuff and kind of get the feel for how he does things. And I really like it. I'm not saying I'm gonna, copy everything that he does. I'm not gonna burst out in a copy commentary like this and talk. I can't even talk that fast. But I'm not gonna burst out into that. I'm not gonna do stuff like that. I just want to, do shorter videos of games that I play now. And the game I play now the most, and it has been for years, Team Fortress 2, because I never lose interest in it. So it's a game that's there that I love to play. I can go on, get on with some friends. And now that I have the ability to record, moderately okay gaming footage with my computer, with a screen recorder, I want to do more of that. And it can be done a lot easier for me. It's a lot easier, hopefully you all stay entertained a little bit better. But something when I think of this summer, I think of, this when I was sitting down for that week or whatever, that day I sat down and watched this whole GTA playlist. So funny. I think of, something I can't get out of my head. I can't get his outro. It was the same thing with the Yogscast. When I think of that summer, when I think of sitting back and watching YouTube videos, it's like, you remember your favorite TV show's theme song or whatever. I still think of I still remember the beat for beat, the Sanford and Son, you know, da 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 theme song because I watched so much of that when I was a kid. I'm not that old, guys. I'm not that old, but it reruns. Well, you know, I really think of his outro now when I think of this Summer's Fast, when I think of the last 2 weeks of my summer. But I sat around and I watched his videos. You know, I kind of got hooked. Just like I got hooked on NCS, I got hooked on the Oxcast. And now, eventually, things balance back out into where I watch everybody again. But the other thing I want to talk about, well, before I go into the next thing I want to talk about, I want to hear from you in the comments. What is your summer theme song? Something that you did, you may have gone to a concert, saw something, saw a concert that you really like, and you remember a song, maybe your hunk lead singer looked down at you and gave you a wink or something, I don't know. Whatever you people do with your free time, something that you, in the summer, that you think about, when you think of that summer, you think of that noteworthy moment. Maybe a YouTube series like me, maybe you know, a time you went out and you went camping. I know I remember those when I do that, because I do that a lot. So, you know, something noteworthy that you like to put down in the comments, or YouTube you discovered a series, whatever, something that you love, you watched, and you got glued to, you couldn't get out of your head for a while, and stuff like that. The other thing I wanted to talk, so put your thing in the comments below, what you did, and we can talk about it. You, everybody else who watched this video, blah blah blah, whatever. Next thing I want to talk about before my time ends, I only got about a minute or two left, I think, is the new TF2 comic. Now, it's not supposed to be tied to any sort of update. Now, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. Spoilers, 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 spoilers. Alright, I gave you fair enough warning. You have not read this comic, I'll probably put a link to it down in the description. Be down somewhere below the video box in the description, along with Joma's channel and some other stuff maybe. But they said it's not tied to a specific update. But it's a comic series that's advancing the plot of the story. If you don't know, well, you should know, because if you're watching past this, well, then you haven't read it and you're gonna get on me for spoilers. I gave you the warning, so you have been warned again. Is what's going on and how Saxon Hill lost Manco. Now the assistant is rounding up everybody, all the classes that have been disbanded. You know, the team's been disbanded, so they're trying to round them up. And you know, I guess we take Manco. Now, is this gonna do eventually at the end of this comic book series? What is it? What I'm trying to think? Institute a new game mode, which would be something like Man vs. Machine, be a new Man vs. Machine game mode, but instead of defending Manco, the robots would be the defenders. The AI would defend, and you'd have to go and you'd have to attack, you'd have to secure, you know, the final point or whatever, and we take this facility of Manco or whatever. Kind of like a Control Point, Man vs. Machine mashed together. So that's what I'm kind of thinking is going to happen, but, you know, only Valve knows what's going to happen. Even if they even know. They may not even know. They may just, you know, want to wing this, or it could lead to nothing.